Welcome to Your Cyber Path, the podcast that helps you get your dream cybersecurity job by sharing the secrets of experienced hiring managers and top cybersecurity professionals with you. Now, on to the show.
What we want to do now is focus a little bit more on, what is the role that certifications, degrees, and experience plays. And we want to do this by playing you a part of the discussion that we had with John Strand. If you don't know who John is, he's the owner of a small business called Black Hills Information Security, and his company specializes in penetration testing, active defense, and threat hunting team services. Now, John's an amazing leader of people in the information security industry. He's an experienced trainer. He's taught for the SANS Institute and also for FBI, NASA, NSA. And he does webcasts. He does pay what you can training. I mean, he's amazing. And during our interview with him, which happened in episode 61, so just like all of our episodes, if you know the episode number, you can just write or type in yourcyberpath.com/ and the episode number. So put 61 in there and you can check out the whole episode. But we talked about what is the relative importance of degrees, certifications, and experience in the hiring process, because he is an experienced hiring manager as well. And John, as I said, has this unique training system where for a lot of the courses that they offer, they have a what they call a pay what you can model, which is super cool because it's helping to change the game, because they provide super high quality, hands-on live training, but they're doing it at an extremely affordable price point, which is his way of saying, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm not going to charge you $2,000, $5,000, $8,000. I'm going to cut that down to zero if you need to. And I'm still going to share with you what is valuable for you to know, practical things. So in the episode that we're going to clip for you, he says that while he believes formal education and certifications are valuable, they're not the sole determining factor for success in our field. He thinks the emphasis is on practical skills, problem-solving abilities, and a holistic understanding of cybersecurity. I really love this episode. Let's take a quick listen to what John shared about his pay what you can model and how it helps to increase diversity and why diversity is so important in our career field.
I am actually really surprised that you guys started out with live, being that you're doing a pay-as-you-can model, right? Normally, the whole goal with a pay-as-you-can is try to get your cost as low as possible so you can put this out and scale it to as many people as possible. And doing that live is really hard because you got to pay for that instructor. And these guys are expensive because they're qualified and they know what they're doing.
That's one of the fun facts. We have former SANS instructors that are doing this. My big brother, Chris Brenton, who taught the firewall perimeter protection class at SANS and was a fellow, he does his class, Pay What You Can. Geoff Thayer, who taught all kinds of classes in Python for SANS, and myself are doing it. And a couple of things. One, dude, guys, the energy of teaching 3,000 people, and they're all on Discord. And then they go into this, it's like this weird thing where like, we're going to make John laugh with SpongeBob SquarePants memes while I'm teaching. Like, I'm getting choked up thinking about it. It's magic. And when we started the Pay What You Can, we started it and it had a lot to do with scholarships. It had a lot to do with diversity. So we're always fighting this thing in the industry of how do we get more diverse people, different race, religions, sexuality, color, like whatever, because diversity of thought is important. And no one ever really talks about why. Everyone's like, diversity is important. Why? And they're like, because I saw it on a bumper sticker. But the reason why diversity is so important is because I'm just going to use some examples. Look at music. If you look at pop music, it sucks. It's bad. If you look at any huge explosion in music, it's always a fusion of different things. You'll take Celtic music and you'll fuse it with African blues, and you start coming out with like harder rock and roll, or you do a lot of acid and you come out with, Pink Floyd. But the point is, whenever you have diversity in art, whenever you have diversity in music, you come up with things that you didn't even know could exist, and you can solve problems. So with diversity, everyone's like, scholarships. And that's great for the people that get the scholarships, doesn't change the damn game at all. You give a few scholarships to people of a certain group or whatever, and then you do the photo op. Look at us. We're diverse. Doesn't change the game. But when you do pay what you can, wherever you're coming from, wherever socioeconomic status, whatever race, religion, creed, sexuality, whether you're coming out from the mountains of South Dakota and you haven't taken a bath in weeks, or you're coming from the inner city in Chicago
and haven't bathed in weeks.
It's always about money. Always. The gate is money.
Yeah.
And we remove that gate, and damn it, let's change the game. But the weird thing is, getting to your point with this long-winded, rounded thing, and I had a point. I'm sorry. I just kind of forgot it for a second. But the point of all of it is, when we did that and we got those thousands of people, I made more in 4 days than I did in an entire year of teaching for SANS.
Which is no small ticket item.
Yeah.
No, there's a big difference between what you pay and what instructors get paid. Let's not get into that, okay? But the point of it is, we found by doing that, we were actually still able to make money. But like you said, it's a scale game. How many people can you get in, and what's the average per seat? And honestly, it was like, I think it was averaging like $20 or something like that per student. And what happened is, we had a whole bunch of people that took it, and they're like, I feel really bad because I didn't pay you anything. Can I come back and pay? And I'm like, absolutely, not a problem. And now we're averaging about $100 to $150 per student is what we're making on some of our classes. And that's not huge money, but dude, if it changes their life and it helps keep the lights on, let's keep doing it. That rocks.
All right, Jason, I know that you have a lot of opinions about this clip because you're someone who runs a training company. So you're on the same, thought, pattern as John. So what do you think about this pay what you can model that John is operating?
Yeah, I really love his pay what you can model. And I really do resonate with his comments on, by doing a pay what you can model or a very low cost model, you can really increase the diversity in the workforce, right? Because it is such a big problem that money becomes the barrier, right? And that was one of the problems if you go back about 10 years ago. I think back when I got into cybersecurity back in the late 90s, degrees weren't required at all. And then from around 2010 to like 2020, everyone had to have a degree to be in cybersecurity. And that really priced a lot of people out, because you had to go to college to go get a 4-year degree that's going to cost you $50,000 to $250,000 to go get a job that's starting out going to pay you $50,000 or maybe $100,000. And it becomes this huge burden. And if you don't make it through school and you can't get a job, or you do make it through school and you can't get a job, you still have $250,000 in student loan debt, right? And so that becomes a huge issue.